For anyone that doesn't know what suicide is, it is the act of intentionally taking one's own life. Often overlooked, suicide is one of America's top 10 causes of death. Each year, about 44,965 Americans die from suicide, and 1,410 of those people are Michiganders. People think these numbers only apply to adults, but sadly, suicide affects all people starting at ages of 5. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for ages 10 to 24. This image is showing the most used ways of suicide for kids ages 10 to 14. The most common cause of death is suffocation, but as research demonstrates in the year age bracket 15 to 24, the number one cause of death is firearm. All of this information was taken from the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention in 2016. 1 out of every 15 high schoolers report attempting suicide each year. Sadly, even with these statistics, many people still believe youth suicide is a non-pervasive problem in our society. Many still believe youth suicide is unique only to the family where it comes from. I believe these statistics prove that teen suicide is a serious problem affecting all areas of our culture, some demographic groups more than others. Suicide affects all youth, but some groups are at higher risk than others. Boys are more likely than girls to die from suicide. Of the reported suicides in the 10 to 24 age group, 81% of the deaths were males and 19% were females. Girls, however, are more likely to report attempting suicide than boys. Native American or Alaskan Native youth have the highest rates of suicide-related issues. A nationwide survey of high school students in the U.S. found Hispanic youth were more likely to report attempting suicide than their black and white non-Hispanic peers. According to the Suicide Prevention Resource Center, over the past 20 years, youth suicides have declined by 40%. They believe by using the public health approach and raising awareness, we can reduce the rates of suicide. There are many programs and foundations to help with suicide prevention. The most well-known one is Suicide Prevention Lifeline. This is designed to be able to pick up your phone and call this number. You can call for yourself or others, and it is anonymous. There are also crisis centers that people can go to that provides mental health services and emotional support services. Crisis centers, along with most suicide foundations, are nonprofit and are free of cost. As a society, we need to continue to support these efforts and continue to expand these types of programs. There are many kids in this world that have thoughts about their place in this society. When you are in high school, everyone is deciding where to go to college and what they are going to do for the rest of their lives. This can be a lot of pressure on kids, and on top of that, the schoolwork and having a job or buying a car. All these things add up, and some people have not yet developed effective ways of handling stress. That is when people start to become overwhelmed or frustrated. Suicide is not just caused by anxiety or depression. Anything to do with a big life transition can greatly affect a person's thought process. The thought of suicide is mostly brought up on a buildup of things that happen in a person's life. Many kids trying to cope with life circumstances holds their thoughts in and may try to not give you signs of anxiety or stress. Thoughts can come from people that have recently gone through a divorce, dealing with alcohol or drug abuse, dealing with a loss, or even losing a job. Some people that do give signs say things like, "I'd be better off dead, I won't be bothering you much longer, and you'll be better off without me around." People say these things verbally as well as texting and social media. Signs of suicide can also be hidden by being all internal, like loneliness, shame, guilt, or even feeling like taking big risks. The challenge is that not everyone that feels this way will commit suicide. Sometimes these feelings are felt by many people at different points in their life. Suicide is an issue that a lot of people are unaware of how common it is. Everyone hears about suicide committed by adults, but rarely hear about youth suicides 5 to 18 years old. High schoolers are most common in this age group. 17% of high school students admit to thinking about suicide, and almost 8% acknowledge making an attempt. Parents as well as students need to be aware of the signs and risks of suicide. If you ever hear a friend or family member talk about suicide, the best course of action is to take it seriously and get help for them.